If your goal is to build a bigger pair of arms and you're struggling to do it, that's exactly what I'm going to break down for you now. So first of all, let's look at the arm itself. A lot of people, and this is a very common mistake, right? A lot of people, when they look at building arms, really focus on the bicep. And I get it, because when you hit a front double bicep or you look at your arm, right, that is the muscle that you look at, that's the muscle. But your arm is majority tricep. And if your goal is to fucking fill out jumpers, fill out sleeves, fill out t-shirts with an awesome set of guns on you, then man, you have got to start getting obsessed with training them triceps. The triceps is where all the growth of your arm will occur. And I can tell you that for me personally, once I started to look at my triceps like I would any other body part and think, okay, I really want to now get this body part stronger. I really want to learn how to connect with this body part. That drastically changed the development in my arm gains. So when we talk about training your tricep, like what are some of the best things that you can do to build a pair of triceps that will absolutely take your arm size to another level? The first movement I would talk about, and this is for me the bread and butter movement, close grip bench press. I think it's an overlooked movement, and I think it's one of the best movements that you can do. The problem is most people will bring their ego into a close grip bench press and they're not really utilizing their triceps, right? So if you get in a position where you can do your close grip bench press, you're able to take a pause at the bottom, and guess what? Move that fucking weight through your triceps, you will start to see a different level of development and strength gain, because we're talking about compound movements, as I said to you before, are the bread and butter of building any body part. So your sort of go-to compound where you're going to really look to progress in terms of strength has to be the close grip bench press, and also a movement that is actually phenomenal for the whole upper body is dips. So many people sleep on dips. Dips is an outstanding movement. And if you can do a dip where you focus on mainly using your tricep, and bench dips are amazing for that, an old school movement right out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era, the bench dips are insane for helping you develop your triceps. And then you've got to look at this. One of the greatest things that you can do to build great tricep size, and which inherently will build the arms up, is to focus on movements that really focus on what? An exaggerated stretch, right? So movements like that are like a French press, a skull crusher, whether you do it by cable, whether you're doing it with an easy bar, wherever you've got your tricep in an exaggerated stretch, and then you're able to work through that and get strong at that movement, we'll see you get a lot of growth. So when you look at designing your sort of arm routine, and you know that the triceps are the fuckers that are gonna actually fill your sleeves out, you want a movement that you can progress on a regular basis. So you need a compound, which is close grip bench press. You need a movement where you can focus on an exaggerated stretch, right? Which will recruit a lot more muscle fiber. So you want, like I say in there, a version of the skull crusher. And then you want something that is going to flush the muscle with a lot of blood. And again, bench dips are amazing for that, or press downs, or your sort of rope press downs. Then you've got to look at the fact of, do your arms need a separate day to work out on? And this is a big issue, because you'll have two camps of people. You'll have your purist push-pull legs guys who say that taking an arm day is absolutely ridiculous. You don't need to have an arm day. If you're training heavy enough in your push-pull leg sessions, then you're going to get great arm growth. And they're right. They're actually right. So when you first start building your body, you want to focus on a split where you're just able to get stronger all over. And when you do that, you will, in the beginning, build up your arm size. But when you start to come to a slowdown, in all honesty, and I'm going to go into this in a second of why, having a separate arm day will literally catapult your fucking growth. And I'll tell you what I love to talk, when I talk about this, what I love to use it as an example. I work with a lot of strong men and a lot of powerlifters who come to me and they're like, look, you know, I've done the strongman, I've done the powerlifting, now I want to focus on building a body. One of the most common issues with a lot of powerlifters and strong men is they have weak arms. Now, think about it. They're strong as oxes, right? They're powerful at all the compound movements, but they've never actually isolated their arms. They've never actually worked on their arms separately. And in every single case that I've had with a guy like that, I've been able to increase their arm size by giving them an isolated arms day. Last but not least, momentum is not your friend. The amount of times that I will go to a gym and I will see guys and I sit there and I'm just like, they're getting no fucking engagement in their muscle because you just see them using momentum on exercises. When you're training a muscle group like your arms, which in comparison to a lot of muscle groups is very small, man, form and control need to be absolutely at their epitome. And then also, arms respond very well to volume. Right, they're a muscle group that's able to recover very quickly. They're a muscle group that's able to take a lot of high volume punishment. And if you take what I've just said to you and you put together a program where one, you start focusing on your arms on a separate day. Secondly, you start focusing on your form and your control, making sure the only fucking reason that weight is moving is because your arms are stretching and contracting. And then on top of that, you put together a routine where you are going to get stronger, where you are focusing on the stretch component, where you are focusing on metabolic fatigue, flushing the muscle with a lot of blood. I'm telling you now, you're going to see a different level of arm growth. You really will.
Yeah,